How's it going, lads? This is the best of three series between Black and Tidus from the Warpstone Cup. Black, of course, on the High Elves, his favorite faction, it seems, and Tidus being the Beastmen. For Black, we are going to have, no surprise there, Dragon Rick with his Lord of Dragons debuffed at minus 24 melee defense and minus 40 melee attack debuff on the enemy. And that is it, 'cause that's all you need. We're of course going to have a live caster as well with just Earthblood, and we're also going to have a Great Eagle. Cool. I hate the Great Eagle. Some people stand by it, of course, but you know that's just how things work. People tend to stand by some mediocre or trash units, and maybe it'll have a outlying case here of being good. I can see it being decent to Beastmen, so. Spearmen for the front line, with archers in the back, of course. 3 dragon princes, and that'll be it for the high elves. For the beastman side, we are going to have a great brace shaman of beasts with just Flock of Doom for those Flock of Doom casts, and arcane conduit for more power recharge. Minotaurs are great weapons, of course. That's what we're going to bring here. They're your only tool for shutting down big SEs like Imric. They're your very important tool here, so you need to take care of them, and they will deliver if you're careful with them. Razor Horde. For some reason, the Bray Shaman has decided to entrust his win in the piggies, and boy, do I gotta say, these hogs are disappointing. I used to use them quite a bit with some success in Warhammer 2 up against dwarf players, but now not so great. They haven't really aged well. They're pretty crap. 24 melee attack and 18 melee defense. Fantastic AP, but they also have rampage as well, which, as you can see, lasts quite a bit for both tiers. They do cost fear though, you know, so they have that. But yeah, 45 armor, pitiful. They're pretty fast for piggies though. 70 speed. That's pretty nuts. But for the rest of the army, we're gonna have mostly Ungors. No surprise there, with some raiders as well, and harpies, of course, to get on the back line. For the cav wise, we are gonna have 2 plain old Centaurs with 2 Centaurs with throwing axes, one being the Groghooves of Wolf's Run, with, of course, that Drunken Bravado for that 0.10% heal, that leadership, and perfect vigor. Pretty nice. Love the Groghooves of Wolf's Run. And they can also help you take out Emmerich or just deal with any dragon princes. Just need that proper micro for them. Keep them out of archer range. Tuskor chariots as well. I'm not sure how I'd like these guys here, but if you're careful with them, they might do okay. I just, you know, on the off chance, I guess, that they're sword masters, even just getting into the back line, providing pressure on the high elves could be good. We'll see how they do, those trusted little piggies and chariots. Let's get right into it. So, the Beastman's going to go for the an ambush here from the trees there, get on top of the high elves. The Centaurs need to be pushing up though as soon as these guys start to push up. Otherwise, their arrival is going to be too delayed. Harpies are going to start moving in, take a volley of fire from the archers, take a fair bit of damage. Try to get on top of the archers, but there are dragon princes nearby who can dispatch them, as well as the Great Eagle and Imric, who would just immediately terror out those harpies. My god, they are gone, and these probably will be gone as well. Piggies and Minotaurs get in on the spearmen. Not great for the Minotaurs. They need to get around. They might just push through and try to get on archers, however. Dragon Princes get a pretty limp charge here on the Ungors here, but these other ones, on the other hand, get a fantastic charge on them, practically routing them immediately. Overcasted Flock of Doom, hitting these Dragon Princes and Spearmen. These Minotaurs definitely need to turn around and get on top of these Dragon Princes, and Piggies need to push past and get on top of these Archers, because that volume of fire is going to add up very, very quickly with how accurate the Elven Archers are. Ungor Raiders shooting in as well. Gonna do okay. Not a whole lot though with the Dragon Princes with that 110 armor. While on the other side for the Beastmen, Minotaurs do not have great armor. As you can see, 35 armor, no missile resistance, so they will be taking a lot of damage from the fire line. That's why you got to get on top of them as soon as possible. And that's why that Harpy engagement may have been a little too early. Immer getting up into the sky, Great Eagle chasing down these Minotaurs, trying to stop them from chasing after the Dragon Princes. Huge breath attack hitting these Minotaurs. Actually not that huge, but it does knock off a model or two. Minotaurs continue pushing in, though pushing in too far. That is very dangerous for the Minotaurs, and could spell doom there for those Minotaurs, which is not great considering you only have one more. Here's one more. These other ones are also actually pushed up too far with very little support. They only have these Ungors here, and they're just fighting on the Great Eagle, the Dragon Princes, and Imric, though the Harpies do come back to surprise and support. Razorgore little piggies have been rampaged and are getting into the back, or rather getting into the Spearmen. These Minotaurs, unfortunately, have been routed off. Centaurs push in. The Centaurs come out from the forest and get on top of the High Elves. These Centaurs get into the back line onto the archers, but the Dragon Princes swiftly respond and get on top of them in a sustained fight. Even with the Harpies' help, these Dragon Princes will beat the Centaurs. And we also see some Spearmen coming over as well. Grogwelves of Wolf's Run are under fire from these archers, and definitely need to get around and start throwing those axes into the side of these Dragon Princes, or go around and start to take fire at Imric. Though, obviously, Imric might not be the best choice with the life cast here constantly healing him. So, though, forcing those hills out sooner is obviously better. So, these throwing axes being in the range of these archers, not fantastic. Definitely need to bring these guys around. And these Tuskor chariots could also be getting through here, getting on top of those archers. Obviously, bringing these Ungors back as well could help. But as well as the fact is that, micro is hard. Beastmen are very hard, and this is why I kind of don't play them. Though in the hands of a great player, they can do great work. I mean, they are rated at such a high faction level for a good reason. But archers are shooting in, getting some fantastic volleys into these Grogwelves of Wolf's Run, who are unfortunately going to rout away. Dragon Princes might even get a charge in on them. And on these Centaurs are throwing axes, which is not fantastic. Definitely need those throwing axes for the Dragon Princes. And Imric. Another breath attack hitting the Centaurs is probably going to rout them as well, does some decent damage. And poke, I think it actually was hitting the Minotaurs, but it hits both and does okay. These Harpies, unfortunately, have been routed off for a second time. These are trying to help out with the Tuskor Chariot and Centaur battle on the Dragon Princes, but they're not going to help out too much. Low AP from all of these groups here, and the Dragon Princes are just going to hold back 3 units from getting into the rest of the back line. But yeah, these Tuskor Chariots already lose a model, already down to 3, might lose another here, but even before that happens, they are terror routed. Though we do have some Minotaurs coming over. They're not going to provide much help, unfortunately. 8 models, 1600 HP. As soon as they get hit by Imric, they possibly might terror route. They lose a model there, and they might lose another model here. Yep, they do, and they are gone. So with the anti-large tools, these win conditions from the Beastmen being shut down, this will probably spell doom for them. And even with another Flock of Doom hitting these Spearmen, it's just unfortunately not going to be enough. Great Eagle coming over to shut down the archer fire from the Raiders and disrupt them. Great Eagle doing okay so far. 40 kills, 170 value. I mean, that's what you get when you're mostly just eating Beastmen. But of course, the value isn't in just the kills, it's in the disruption, and it's doing a fantastic job at it. Imric getting an attack in on the Great Bray Shaman. Now it's just walking him, they're not hanging out, best friends here, just having an idle stroll. But the piggies come in to try to save their beloved Great Bray Shaman and, do good by him. He's entrusted his life to them, and hoping that they pay out, but you're having a tough time there. I mean, as you can see, 18 melee defense against Imric's 74 melee attack. Yeah, they're gone. They're going to shatter, and that'll be spelling the end for the Beastmen. Ooh, good job there from both players. Both Black, of course, and Imric Connoisseur is going to know how to play against the Beastmen here. And Imric is a deadly man against these Bray herds. 1535 on Imric, not even carrying the entire match or carrying the entirety of the High Elves on his back like usual, but still good value. 275 on the Great Eagle, you know, he did what he could. Dragon Princess really racked up a lot of the value here. They did fantastic, had so many targets to screen out from the rest of your valuable high elf assets, and they did great at it. Taking down those centaurs, taking out blocking out that Tuskor chariot, getting rid of the harpies, even, you know, dealing with the pigs mostly, but especially the minotaurs. They handily they managed to escape from the minotaurs and get on top of their appropriate targets, while other units on the high elves like the eagle and Imric were able to keep the dragon princes from taking them a lot of damage from the minotaurs. So they did great. Archers got a lot of value, decent, or rather, a lot of decent value. That doesn't make any sense. They got some decent value. 821 here, 669, especially when they're going up against the Beastmen. With how easy it is to disrupt the back line of the High Elves whenever you're a horde faction like the Beastmen, they did fine. Anything else, of course. 421 here on the Great Break Shaman, of course, just spamming Flock of Doom. Minotaurs, unfortunately, they had a tough time here, as you guys saw. This one in particular just pushed way too far and was surrounded, and next thing you know, they were gone. And losing a big centerpiece like that, I mean, losing a big win condition there was really tough there by the Beastman side. Obviously, they came back, but after taking so much damage, their damage output is very, very limited. Centaurs with Throwing Axes also had a tough time. A Tuskor Chariot as well. Centaurs too. Just, yeah, overall the speed and disruption units were shut down fairly easily by Blaquenyte. Solid game. I'll catch you guys next time with the best of two. Bye bye.